Welcome to Care Smarts on Air, a home care podcast. My name is Ruby Mehta. I am VP of Sales at Care Smarts. Today, we have the distinct honor of speaking with Simon T. Bailey, recognized as the world's leading expert in brilliance. Simon has ascended to extraordinary heights, being named one of the Success magazine's top 25 thought leaders, alongside icons like Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey. He's also been featured on the Leaders Hum Top 200 Power List in 2023 and the Guatemalist Top Keynote Speaker in 2024. With the Disney Institute as his launchpad, Simon has left an incredible mark on over 2,400 organizations across 54 countries, working with the likes of American Express, Deloitte, Marriott, Visa, Stanford Healthcare, and Taco Bell. Through his books, speeches, and coaching, Simon captivates the lives of countless individuals around the globe, inspiring them to lead better, stay curious, and embrace a growth mindset. Today, we are thrilled to have Simon share his insights and strategies for helping you propel towards a brilliant future. Prepare to be empowered as we dive into Simon's wealth of knowledge and experience. So let's get started. Welcome, Simon. How are you?
I'm great, Ruby. I want to meet the guy. I want to meet the person who paid the guy off to say all those nice things.
That's you. That's pretty awesome. I know our audience is very interested to learn from you, and so I would really want to just dive into the topic. And our topic today is how purpose can reduce turnover in home care, because we all know in home care that's really important for the care staff, for caregivers to have the right purpose just to stay connected with their jobs. So my question to you is, how can instilling a deeper sense of purpose help addresses the challenges of this high turnover among caregivers?
I think purpose can be used as a strategic retention tool because once an individual understands the purpose of the organization, they can quickly ascertain and decide if the purpose of the organization aligns with their personal purpose. And if it does, then what it really says to that individual is that this organization puts purpose before profit. It puts people before profit. And in the end, the customer, the patient, the guest, the resident is the benefactor of this well-rounded purpose that lives in the head, the hearts, and the hands of those that are closest to those they serve.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. What do you recommend? What strategies do you recommend, Simon, for helping caregivers discover or rediscover the deeper meaning and purpose behind their roles?
I think number one, to really begin to unpack the stories and testimonies of those that they serve. What is the feedback that people are sharing as to their experience? Number two, when you are looking to attract and certainly activate talent in the organization to give this caring experience, connect those stories and testimonies to them. The moment people hear once upon a time, all of a sudden they raise an eyebrow, they lean in, tell me more, because that's the impact of caregiving that they have every single day. And then number three, find a way early and often to communicate it visually from an auditory standpoint and word of mouth. So every shift talks about what's the story, what's the testimonies, what's the feedback of how we are taking the caregiving experience to the next level. Ritz-Carlton, as you know, is known for amazing service. And one of the things that they do, they share their basics. There's about 12 basic tenets that they share every shift all around the world, every hotel. So now people begin to understand, how do I become a part of the story to create that experience that is second to none?
Yeah, no, that's really great. Many times the owners, the management is really bogged down into the ROI and day-to-day operations, and they forget the value of and the purpose why they created this business. and more they instill this into their work environment, I think everyone would like to be part of that.
Absolutely.
So true, so true. Um, how can agency owners actually they make sure or they help their teams to stay focused on that higher purpose of the work? Because we all know the team, the staff, they all get bogged down to those day-to-day activities, and there is so much admin work that they do. Um, they tend to forget.
I think
So
the first thing agency owners can think about is sharing their personal purpose, to your point just a moment ago, because sharing their personal purpose humanizes them, allows caregivers to kind of hear their backstory, and also they are sharing vulnerable moments of when they were perhaps about to give up or looking for another option. And sometimes you may hear that's too much information. No, that's the right information to let people know that, you know what, I want to join this agency owner in carrying the mission and the purpose forward.
yeah, yeah. So definitely connecting at that level, that personal story that needs to be reiterated with to the teams for sure. I agree 100%. Um, and then cultivating a stronger sense of purpose. Um, but then how can the owners or the management they cultivate that strong sense of purpose and meaning that help caregivers build that resilience?
I think number one, creating circles of purpose where ongoing the caregivers can share their story. They can share what they are dealing with, what they are learning, how they are growing. I think number two, finding ways to recognize and appreciate the great work that individuals do. Here's a mental post-it note. What gets recognized gets repeated. 1 minute of recognition creates 100 minutes of initiative. So, in this circle of purpose, as people are teeing up, hey, here's what drives me. And to be recognized and appreciated goes a long way. But I think the third thing is taking time to maybe have even caregivers lead the discussion. They can say, hey, I want to start the discussion as to relates to how do we overcome? How do we celebrate? How do we do this better? And giving them that opportunity to take the lead in conversations as it relates to purpose builds their self-efficacy, their confidence, and their belief that they are making a difference. So I believe all of those things really contribute to creating this culture of outstanding caregiving.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also believe that purpose can also be used as a tool for teams to inspire and empower their caregiving staff and their office staff to reach their optimal, level of efficiency. What do you have to say about that?
I think as people are sharing their purpose-driven story, it becomes like a meme where it catches on like a common cold. It passes from person to person in the most positive way of
Yeah.
their story, and it inspires. The word inspire, if you went to dictionary.com, means to breathe life into. So when you're listening to another person's story, it breathes life into you that gives you hope to keep pushing forward and to keep adding value.
Yeah, yeah, great. Uh, do you have any examples, Simon? And if not, it's fine. Just so people can relate to it and they can understand a little bit more how important it is to have that purpose, that installation of purpose in their caregiving staff. Do you have any examples that you can think of?
I was working with a healthcare organization that wanted to improve their Press Ganey scores, which is like JD Power. And one of the things they quickly identified is when they shifted into the storytelling or the purpose sharing, what it did for the patient satisfaction scores, not only did they increase, but for the first time, individuals felt seen, valued, and understood, all because they began to share what they were learning, but they could also hear from others, and it created this belonging where everyone knew that it was a part of they were a part of a greater mission, so they were not on an island by themselves. And as the patient satisfaction scores increased, the hospital was able to be recognized for best in class because they took the time to hear from individuals that were closest to the action.
Yeah, no, that's so great. Um, that's the main problem. I think the staff, they all work in a silo and they have their own goals, they have their own personal lives going on, and they're trying to achieve something. But yeah, sharing purpose and sharing their stories, that creates that one goal, one mission, and they're all working towards that one thing, which is beautiful. Well, thank you, Simon, for this. I hope our audience had a great time listening to your insights, and we will see you next time, everyone. Goodbye, and thank you, Simon, again.